Na mimi nimekuja hapa kwa sababu mnataka tukubaliane na nyinyi. Kwa mapenzi ya Mungu, kwa kura zenu na kwa maombi yenu, mimi leo ni kiongozi wa taifa la Kenya. And I don't take it for granted. It is because of the support of millions of Kenyans, the prayers of millions of Kenyans, and their goodwill, that today, by God's grace, I'm the president of this great country called Kenya. Na sababu hiyo, chama cha KANU ndio chama iliyotusaidia kulete independence katika taifa letu la Kenya. Ni kweli ama si kweli? And if there is a political party that must mind about what Kenya becomes, it must be the founding political party called KANU. You must be interested on what happens to Kenya. Our forefathers, the people who made huge sacrifices to found this country called Kenya, made huge sacrifices so that we can be an independent country, had a vision for this country. And their vision was for a united, prosperous country called Kenya where no citizen is left behind. Ni mnanielewa? That is what informed their sacrifice. They did not make sacrifices so that we can be disunited. They did not make sacrifices so that we can be backward or poor or uneducated or sick or unable to do the things that makes this country great. They made sacrifices so that this country can thrive and become a greater nation. And I want to tell you, good people, especially as I speak to those of you who are members of the founding party of our country, that the sacrifice that were made that time is because so that we can get rid of ignorance. We can build a firm foundation for education. And that is why President Moi, taking over from the founding president of this country, became a great champion of education. He made a huge contribution to education because ignorance was one of the biggest things we wanted to get rid of in this nation. It is the reason why President Kibaki, taking over from President Moi, rolled out the free primary education program, building on what President Moi had done. It is the reason why my predecessor, President Uhuru Kenyatta, worked on 100% transition because there were too many kids falling through the cracks in the education system. And it is the reason why today, under this administration, I have made it my purpose to make sure that every child who is in school, building from free primary to 100% transition, we ended up with so many children in school, but we had shortages of classrooms, we had shortages of teachers, and we had limited funds to teach our children. Those are the three things that have become my intervention in the education sector. Today, We have hired 100,000 teachers, the highest in Kenya's history, because I am building on what my predecessors did. Today, we have built in the last 3 years 23,000 classrooms, again to make sure that every child who goes to school has a classroom and a teacher. And as a result, we have also come up with a new student funding model that now provides enough resources for teaching in our universities. Universities that were struggling because we had too many children and we didn't have the resources to teach them. I am telling you this because I want to take you back to where KANU began, the foundation that was laid. Secondly, we also agreed that we needed to deal with the challenge of health. You know what Moi did with the Nyayo wards in hospitals. You know what my brother, before my brother, you know what Moi Kibaki did to try universal health coverage. We didn't succeed. We tried universal health coverage under Jubilee. We didn't succeed. Today, because it was a legacy that we wanted to build, we are rolling out universal health coverage. It is the same thing we are doing in agriculture. It is the same thing we are doing with our economy. And I want to tell you, it is because of this reason that I looked for my brother Gideon. Nyinyi mnanielewa? Yes. Because Kenya is not supposed to be a third world country. And we can change this country, my friends, in our lifetime. Many people never believed that we could transform our agriculture, reduce fertilizer, provide seeds. Today, our coffee farmers are earning more. Today, we have sorted out the cartels that were there in the sugar industry. Today, we are selling more tea. Today, we are doing more in the agricultural sector. Not many people believed it was possible. Many people did not believe that it was possible to roll out the housing program. It has been in our books for 30 years. Today, we are building 170,000 houses. We are building markets. We are building hostels. Many people did not believe that it was possible to straighten our education. We had problems with CBC. Today, we have straightened it. We had challenges with our economy, serious challenges with our economy, huge debts, inflation 9.6%, exchange rate had gone to 167. All the reserves had gone down to 5.7. Today, our economy is doing better because we have done what we need to do. But even though we have done whatever we have done with the economy, even though our inflation has come down to 4%, even though our dollar reserves have gone up to 11.8 billion, even though we have reduced our exchange rate to 129, and we have done all the other things in health, in housing, in agriculture, even after doing all that, I want to tell you as Kenyans, and I want to speak to you as members of KANU, that is not enough. We need to lift this country to the next level. We need to lift this country to the next level. And I have had a conversation with many leaders. I will confirm to you here, I have had a conversation with the Honorable Raila Odinga. And I have told him, it is important for us, despite everything else, we have the potential to move this country to the next level. I have sat down with my predecessor, President Uhuru Kenyatta, and I have explained to him that we need to move this country to the next level. And I have looked for my brother Gideon. Ni mnanielewa? Yes. And told him it is time for us to move Kenya to the next level. And for us to move Kenya to the next level, we need to pull together. We need to work together. And that is why I looked for my brother Gideon and I told him, we need to pull together. We need to work together. I want you to come and help me pull this country together so that we can elevate Kenya to the next level. Nyie mnanielewa? So, kama iko makosa imetokea huko anywhere, blame it on me. Mimi ndio mwenye hii maneno yote. Mimi ndio nimetafutana na Gideon. Nikamwambia Gideon, tafadhali. Nyie mnanielewa? Yes. Because the destiny of Kenya is far greater than what I can get, what Gideon can get, what the next leader can get. Pulling together, we can lift this country to the next level. And that is why I want to ask you, as members of KANU, you have the greatest stake in the future of this country. You want a successful country. You want us to move this country from the third world to the first world. Ndio? That was the motivation. That was the inspiration of the founding fathers of our nation who are in KANU. And that is what I intend, working with my brothers, working with my sisters, working with all Kenyans, for us to lift this country to the next level. In the last 3 months, actually 2 months, I have had a conversation with all our members of parliament from all regions of Kenya, because